And I too would like to welcome Minister Burton back to the House this afternoon. This year's Social Welfare and Pensions Bill brings cold comfort to many, as those of us from this side say it could have been worse. It most certainly could have been worse. I think everyone realises this. Minister Burton achieved a thankless feat of reducing the adjustment from 440 million to 290. Every member in the House cannot dispute that this budget is significantly different from the previous budgets we've unfortunately had to propose. I'll stand up and applaud this, but I decided that these points must be made to at least put these measures into context. Throughout the difficult 3 years of this government, the opposition, those affiliated to parties and those affiliated to none, have repeatedly stated that we're not protecting ordinary people, that we can't make these adjustments, that there must be money somewhere. I had sincerely hoped that at this stage in the game that they would have woken up from their delusions, particularly those in Fianna Fáil. If there was ever an opposition party who knew the scale of the task that we have faced and still face, it should be Fianna Fáil, the party who started the austerity budgets, their buzzword. The party that cut child benefit by €16 a month in budget 2010 and by €10 in budget 2011, who cut the carers allowance from €220.50 to 204, the party who cut the blind pension from 204 to 188, who cut the widow's pension from 204.30 to 188 also, after the most devastating budgets in living memory. So I think that needs to be, remembered. Historically, Sinn Féin as well also seemed to jump on whatever bandwagon is on the move, believing that there must be money somewhere and that all of our budgetary issues could be solved by taxing the wealthy. And it's unfortunate that there is no member of Sinn Féin here. I would agree on one thing, that the wealthy in Ireland should pay their share. I have no dispute on that matter at all. But the Sinn Féin pre-budget 2014 submission is as one-dimensional and as regurgitated as their pre-budget submission in 2013, 2012 and 2011 proposals. Members of Sinn Féin stand up in both houses to disparage the decisions of this government and the measures of this bill in particular, year in and year out. But members of Sinn Féin stand up in Stormont and introduce social welfare changes, but that by their own admission are flawed and targeted at the most vulnerable and disadvantaged in society. The social welfare bill that was allowed to pass by Sinn Féin in the north saw changes and cuts that disproportionately affect women. This sounds familiar. Low-income families and lone parents were forced to access debt, discredited tests used to judge the sick and disabled, along with further measures that threaten to take away benefits from those who refuse work and cuts to housing benefits. I concede that we have made harsh decisions and compromises, but we have never lost sight on the end game, to regain control of our country and to make it a more sustainable place for our children. It's easy to make easy decisions. On the most cynical level, not a single member of the Cabinet, the Labour Party or Fine Gael has anything to gain from cutting services and benefits from people. I think it's safe to say that not a single person on either side of the House entered into politics to take or to cut from people. Minister Burton has had no easy task in social protection, and I particularly commend the fact that disability, further cuts were not made in the area of disability this year. She has continued to expand the JobBridge scheme, has overseen the drop in live register figures, had made sure that Budget 2014 saw significant money go towards job activation measures, has rationalised many social welfare services with the introduction of the intro offices all around the country, which are customer service orientated. Minister Burton has also been working tirelessly behind the scenes on the Youth Guarantee and has secured €14 million of funding while we continue to work on funding from the EU. I know that members on the other side of the House will complain that not enough is being allocated to the project, but I will remind them, particularly those and the members of the opposition, that it's not about how much money you allocate, but it's about how you use the money that you're given. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.